read more in less time. So it's never been more important to read books. I was chatting to people this week and they said they don't read books. I'm like, how do you not read books? It's like exercising. It's like finding out people that don't do exercise or haven't exercised in the past. Many people say, oh, I haven't read since I was at school. It's like finding out someone hasn't exercised since they're at school. So reading is one of the best ways to change your life for the better. You have more access to than ever before. You can access people's brains and they publish in the book, successful people, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Napoleon Hill. You can access what these people are thinking about and what their thought processes are in a £10 book. It's absolutely amazing. So we're in a new age. We're in a different world than we were before. So we've moved from the agricultural age to the industrial age to the information age. Now we're moving into the knowledge age where we can find out how to do things never before. So it's never been more important to read. So reading is so important, and it's like a portal into someone's brain. You can actually find out people who have the similar problems that you have faced, and people have basically written in a book how to solve those problems, and you can find out how to solve your own problems in half an hour rather than struggling to trying to crack the code and work it out yourself. So in this video, it's a real quick video, but we're going to go through essentially how to read more in less time. So it's not necessarily about, and essentially how to take on that information. So reading has never been more important. So if you look at many studies, it actually shows how important reading is. If you look at the one thing you can improve kids' life, it's how to read. They always talk about actually getting your children to read books, but we don't actually do that, take on that advice ourselves. So many people today don't even read. They don't even have one book. So most of the time today we're talking about non-fiction business, self-development books. We're not talking necessarily about fiction books. If you want to go and read a fiction book, that's fine. You enjoy that. Essentially, these books are about how to improve yourself for the better, how to make yourself happier, healthier, more productive. And essentially, we're going to show you about five tips on how to do this. And as a financial advisor, when I was a financial advisor, I used to meet high net worth individuals, and most of these people had read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Most of these people had read Napoleon Hill, How to Think and Grow Rich. Most people had read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. These are kind of core books that everyone should be reading. If you go onto my website, moneytips.org, I've got a list of the books that are kind of core books that everyone should be reading. I'm going to do a video soon. It's 20 books you should read in your 20s, and it's going to give away kind of the 20 core books that you don't have to read all of them, but at least one or two of it. Just read one of these books of the 20 that I list, and it will essentially improve your life for the better. So reading is like exercise. So we say, like, it's like many people say, like, you haven't read since school. It's like not exercising when you go to school. When you start reading a book, you're going to want to, there's going to be a little voice in your head that's going to say, you don't want to continue reading the book. It's going to want to make you put the book down. You're going to want to go on social media. You're going to want to be doing something else. It's the same as when you go for a run. If you've ever been for a run and there's a voice in your head that says, you can't reach the end of the road, you can't run, it wants you to stop, it wants you to not continue to run. I don't know why this voice does it, but it's like your little voice telling you to, it doesn't want you to continue. It's a bit like that when you're reading it. There's going to be loads of distractions, but concentrate and to break through that kind of inertia to get your things going. If you read every day, it just builds up those daily habits of actually improving life for the better. And it's going to be, if you understand compound interest, though, that kind of knowledge you're going to take on in 5-10 years time, it's going to be insanely compared to where you would be if you weren't reading. So let's go through these tips. So 1, take a book everywhere. Everywhere you go, bring a book in your bag. I see so many people out scrolling on their phones or sitting when they go for a doctor's appointment and they're just not reading anything, or they're not, just sat there just kind of in their own world. You could use that time. The way I think of it is like, it's dead time and alive time. We have so much dead time throughout our day, where maybe you're walking to the bus stop, or maybe you're cooking, or maybe you're doing the washing up. These are times when you can actually access reading or access on a bus, so you can take a physical copy, but if you're walking or on a bus or cooking, for instance, you can listen to audiobooks. It's never been easier to access this information, that it's never been more easier to do it. Technology is amazing today. So one, take a book everywhere. And we kind of talked about it before, just recently, but audiobooks, they're amazing. Go get an audiobook. I'll put a link down in the comments where you can have a free audiobook if you sign up for a 30 days trial. You can get Millennial Money Mindset for free on the Audible trial. It's a 30-day trial if you sign up for it. But I have read like 70 books from not actually in the dead time. It actually wasn't actually, I wouldn't have been doing anything. I was just walking to the bus stop, or I would be doing washing up. I have an audiobook in one of my, listening to that while I do something kind of multitasking. So another way to read more in less time is book summaries. They're really good. I've got loads on Millennial Money Mindset YouTube channel. They all summarize kind of the key points really simply, concisely, and easily. So use those. Go on YouTube's amazing for this. Millennial Money Mindset. I've got loads of summaries. I'll put a link up here on to the summaries that I've got listed. So the next one, to understand more, highlight books. I've got a book. Where was it? I had it here. This is The Science of Getting Rich. This is the book that I've published myself, but I highlight loads of stuff. So think about, you want to be actively reading this. You want to be actively learning. So there's a cone of learning that I've talked about in other videos, but essentially the more active you are in your learning, the more you're going to take on and understand. So there's a cone of a pyramid of learning. I think it's something like, if you only read, you're going to absorb like 4% of that information. If you listen to something, you're going to be maybe 8%. If you actively engage in your learning, you're going to learn much more. So this might be telling a friend, this might be summarizing yourself, take notes. I mean, I'm a huge note. I've got one of these books, and yeah, I take notes all the time, and I summarize kind of key points of books that I like. So the E-Myth is one, and I've just put kind of the summary here, and the key takeaways that I think are important, and I use that to actively use that to essentially improve my life. I take on the key points, and then take out you want to be looking for the key nuggets, the nuggets of gold that you're looking for. You're basically digging for gold, these tiny little kind of active, so active reading. Tell others or talk to others. Book clubs are another way to do it, or create content like this one. This is Millennial Money Mindset. If you want the fruits, you need the roots. Thanks so much for joining us. And please like, please subscribe, please tell a friend, and put in the comments which one was your favorite. Thanks so much for joining us.